What is up, FBG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. So the 2.7 live stream came and went, and for me, in my opinion, it was much of the same from what we've seen in previous live stream and patches. The highlights were the characters and the story quests, and don't get me wrong, I am extremely excited about the characters, more specifically Yelan, and I think that was the absolute highlight of this live stream. With that being said, I think it is time now to go full prep mode when it comes to Yelan. We're going to go in depth with this character now that we officially can, and we're going to go ahead and get you prepared so on day one you have the absolute best Yelan that you can possibly have and you're fully prepared. So for the first video to kick this off, I thought we would talk about some mistakes that you may want to avoid when it comes to this character, because some may be common knowledge, others you may not have thought of. And so if that's the case, hopefully this video helps and hopefully it gets you started on the right foot. So the first mistake that I did want to speak about is thinking Yelan is just a main DPS or just a DPS character. That couldn't be further from the truth. Now, is she a DPS character or can she do damage? Of course, and that's how they categorized her on the live stream, and they're not wrong. This character is going to be able to do damage. I've said that before, I'll say it again. She is going to be able to DPS because her kit and her skills naturally point in that direction. When it comes to her elemental skill, her elemental burst, it's there to be able to do damage. Her scaling, she's going to be able to output the damage. But thinking she's only a damage dealer like Zhao is a mistake in my opinion, because she has some supporting capabilities within her kit. The first being Hydro. She's a Hydro character that naturally allows her to have supporting capabilities, because with Hydro, she's going to be able to not only fit on many different team comps, if not all of them, so she has that versatility, but of course she's going to be able to proc some of the best reactions in the game, which is extremely useful. When we talk about reactions like Vaporize and Tase and Freeze, you just don't get much better than that. And then Hydro just naturally being a supporty type of element that leads her to have some supporting capabilities. So that is one thing. The next thing that I did want to talk about is her second passive, which is where I believe the supporting capabilities really start kicking in, because the second passive is kind of nutty in my opinion. I'll have to see it on paper, I'll have to actually use it in game, but if I'm reading it correctly, it sounds like it's going to be doing a lot for the active characters. So once you pop your elemental burst with Yelan, and it is active, which it's active for, if I'm not mistaken, 15 seconds, the active character that's on the field is passively going to have their damage increase by a maximum of 50%. I think that's pretty substantial, and I think that's pretty incredible at the same time, and that is where her supporting capabilities, like I mentioned before, starts to really kick in. So you couple that with the reactions that she's going to be able to get off, and her being Hydro allows Yelan to not only be the damage dealer that you're looking for, but be able to support as well, whether it be for herself or for your allies, just depending on who you have out there. I think she's going to be able to do some incredible things. Being able to be that versatile is going to be extremely useful in my opinion. So just don't see her as a main damage dealer, but see her kind of as like an all-arounder that can do a lot of different things for yourself and your account. So that's the first mistake to avoid. The second mistake to avoid is how to build her correctly. Now, initially for my Yelan, I was going to obviously make her a main DPS because I do want her to hit incredibly hard. And so the artifacts that I was planning on putting on her is the 2-piece Tenacity of the Millilith and then 2-piece Heart of Depth, because for the 2-piece Tenacity you get the 20% HP increase, which is, you know, where her scaling of damage is coming from, and then the 2-piece Heart of Death for the Hydro damage bonus. But the more I thought about it, the more I started to realize that the Emblem of Severed Fate is probably going to be the best way to go for your damage dealing Yelan, and the reason being is because I believe most of her damage is going to be coming from her elemental burst. Once again, if I'm reading it on paper correctly, I'll have to use it in game. This is just my early analysis. And if that's the case, then the Emblem of Severed Fate domain is going to be the way to go, not only because of the damage, but also because of where your resources and the best way to farm. The 2-piece Tenacity is not that great of a domain, and the 2-piece Heart of Depth is decent, right? But now you're splitting your raisins between the two, where you can go ahead and dump them all into one domain and simply farm the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate and also have the chance of, and most likely getting, some Shimenawa sets, which this domain is arguably one of the most efficient domains to farm at the moment because of the universal nature of both artifact sets. So I would say if you are looking to build your Yelan to do damage, then the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate is the one that I would recommend, and not the 2-piece Tenacity and 2-piece Heart of Depth. So that is just my recommendation, and once again, just maybe a mistake to avoid there. And the last mistake that I would say to avoid is to make sure to test run Yelan before pulling. So don't pull her before you tried her out. And the reason being, and I've seen this plenty of times, and I mention this with every new character that comes into the game of Genshin Impact, is that you may be excited for this character and you may want them extremely bad. You finally pull them and you actually try them and you don't enjoy their gameplay, you don't like the way they play, and then you never actually use said character. I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times. Test run the character first, make sure you enjoy them, let content creators do their first impressions on the character, let content creators test the potential of the character, and then make a decision. Patience is going to be your best friend here. Patience is going to be key. But anyways guys, those are just some things that I want to go ahead and present to you, some mistakes that you can maybe avoid. And once again, some of these may have been common knowledge, some of them you may not have thought of. This is definitely more catered to my newer players that have just joined the game of Genshin Impact and are excited about Yelan. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.